Now let's start working with task 5, and here the question is given a regression model y is equal to a cosine bx. Derive and simplify the equations for a and b. This is a very simple task. It's just you have to follow some steps that were taught in the lecture. So what we have to do is, first we have to know that the sum squared residual, which is S sub r, is equal to the summation of all your residuals from I is equal to 1 till n. The summation of your residuals, so residuals is the observed value yi minus the predicted value a cosine bxi squared. So just like in the previous task, I have taught that the S sub r is the summation of all your residuals. So this is the same thing here. And then what we have to do is you have to minimize the S sub r. So we differentiate it with respect to a and b, our unknowns. So we will we'll find the partial derivative of S sub r with respect to a. So we'll have here summation from I is equal to 1 till n 2 times yi minus a cosine bxi, and then multiplied to the derivative of a, which is minus cosine bxi. So this is just how to partially find out the derivative of this part here. So the 2 comes in forward, and then you have it the function again, and then you just take out the derivative of a alone and multiply. So this is equated to 0, and if you simplify this, you can say that the 2 can go there, it's a constant, so it can go and divide on the other side, and that will become 0. So we can say that this is equal to, or you can say that if you multiply the minus cos bxi to here, the minus a cos bxi, so minus times minus is plus, so we can write that at first, which is taking out the constant a outside. We have summation from I is equal to 1 till n cosine squared bxi minus, we have again the summation from I is equal to 1 till n. Now multiplying it with the yi, we have yi times cosine bxi, and this is equal to 0. So this is the first equation that you need to come to, and then when we derive it partially with respect to b, we will get here again the summation from I is equal to 1 till n 2 times the function again. So here you have yi minus a cosine bxi times the partial derivative of b, which is a times sine bxi times xi. So now equating this to 0, so again the constants 2 can go there and divide and become 0, a can go to the other side and divide 0 and become 0. So this, if you simplify, you will get here summation from I is equal to 1 till n yi xi times sine bxi. So you can just put them into brackets for more clarity. So we have taken this one here, this part here, and multiplied to the yi now, and now multiplying it to the a or a cosine bxi we'll get here minus a, taking out the constant outside of the summation. We'll get here summation I is equal to 1 till n xi sine bxi times cosine bxi equal to 0. So bxi equal to 0. So this is the second equation that the question is asking you to give. So that's all. This was a very simple task just to arrive at the equations for the unknowns a and b. And the next task of the midterm is also very simple, so I'll not solve it here. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.